Hello and welcome back to the JSano fan server with me, Mr. Muckluckable. Hello. I am positioned in a very specific manner right now. Very specific indeed. Can you see maybe just around about my thigh level, where my thighs are? To the left and to the right there are a few little pixels. Just a few little dark pixels. What are they? What could they be? I'll tell you what they are. Do 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 do. Oh, hang on. Hey, there you go. It's the Minecon cape. Oh, I feel so fancy in it. I know it's just a few pixels, but look at it. Look at it. Because yes, this is my my first video on the server since coming back from the Minecon trip. And oh, I have so much to talk about, so little time really. I don't want this to be a massive video, unlike that last one, the server tour, which was very long. But I do want to talk about, some things that happened and just how the trip went because, oh, it was so good. Such a great time. I'm really so sad it's over, but I'll get on to that. I will quickly point out, though, before I start, that I am still a little bit sick. I got a little bit of that post-con flu, as it's called. And so my voice is a little bit deeper, a little bit raspier. I've got a bit of a cough still, and my nose is a little bit blocked, so apologies if I sound a little bit stuffed up, and apologies if I have to mute where I have to cough or something, or take a sip of drink. But yes, I kind of want to stay like this, just because you can see my cape. Look at it. I'm sure people have actually done this. They've like given themselves a challenge to actually play the game in third person, which, you know what, is pretty cool, in fact. I mean, it's not really what I should do now, because I'm going to do some caving, because it makes for a kind of simple backdrop to talk. This is not very simple. This is actually quite tricky to do, but it's kind of fun, though. Oh, God. I kind of like this. Where are you, Skelly? This is kind of good. Okay, maybe not now, but one episode we're going to do that. We're going to cave in third person for the whole time. This looks like a good cave. This is good. I did actually try to do this episode one time before, but the cave I thought was a cave was not a cave, so I had to get out of that fake cave and start again. Anyway, let's not waste any more time, because I don't want this to be long, like I said. Let's get started. Oh, one more thing as well. I'm sorry. I'll get onto the trip in a second, but I am trying out a new way of recording these episodes, a new piece of software. I'm not just using Fraps like usual, because I'm trying to get the audio a bit different, a bit better, so hopefully it looks the same or looks okay and sounds better. We'll see how it turns out, but in case you do notice anything different, that's why. Alright, so, Minecon. Oh, baby. I left an update video before I left, but my trip lasted from Thursday the 2nd until Tuesday the 7th, despite the fact that Minecon was only July the 4th and 5th, so the Saturday and the Sunday. No, I had more things to do than that. Oh god, you have a potion effect. So yeah, Thursday I left for London, and man, it was a nightmare packing, because I packed a bit too much. I'm that type of person who will pack way too much and then not use half the stuff he packed, which is exactly what happened. I had to trawl this massive suitcase through London and the tube to get to the apartment that we were staying at, which I may as well talk about now. So, we stayed at an Airbnb. We being people from the JFS. Oh, I actually got to see some people off the server, as well as a few other people. So, off the server, I stayed with... Is this Silk Touch? Let's get Silk Touch going. I stayed with the Multiplexer. I stayed with Adrian, Isuktul, the guy who set it all up. I stayed with the Biggest Killer, and I also stayed with Naxa. There were also two other people. If you are aware of the Mindcrack subreddit, I stayed with two of their mods, one being NWW, and the other being Pajam. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to meet those guys, and in fact pretty cool to meet everyone, because this was my first experience of meeting people from across the interwebs. and it sounds kind of weird. I must admit I haven't told friends about this because, well, they don't know about my channel anyway. But if I said to someone, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go spend like 5 nights with these people that I've met on the internet and I've never met before and don't really know who they are," you'd get a few sort of confused and worried looks, wouldn't you? Which is fair enough. But hey, I survived. They didn't kill me. They're not murderers. It all turned out well in the end. It really did. I was a bit not skeptical. I mean, I was always really excited about this trip. But there are some things, there are some worries. Not so much about like, ooh, am I safe? More like worries because what I've found when people get into kind of groups to stay together is that people get really messy. People get really kind of, I don't know, maybe they're just messy anyway. But I was worried that, you know, we'd all be smelly and leave loads of rubbish everywhere and be too loud for the neighbours. But no, everything went just fine, just dandy, because we're all very lovely people. So yeah, that was just something. I don't know how to really describe it, but having, well, no, this is how I can describe it. So I've done this YouTube stuff for 4.5 years now, and treated it like a completely separate thing to my everyday life. Pretty much, you know, I go out and I see my friends and I go to work, and I come home and I can go on the server, I can record videos, I can make Let's Plays. They're separate things. And this was kind of the first example of, in real life, seeing people that knew the videos I make, and seeing people that would get the same references that I do, and seeing people that would, I don't know, that can they can recognise me in a weird way, not via my face, but via my voice and via my content. It was so bizarre in a weird way. Well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But it was really cool, and I'm going to use that a lot. That word, cool. I'm sorry. It's just it was really cool. So yeah, that was the first time meeting people, and yeah, I mean that involved, you know, them seeing my face, which some people might be like, oh well, you showed your face, wow, that's kind of cool. There you go, there's that word again. But you know, it's not. I don't want to kind of talk about it too much. I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but it's really not something I dwell on. I've said in the past why I don't do face videos and stuff. I couldn't avoid it this time, and you know, I wouldn't want to avoid it, but as long as you just treat it like a normal thing, because hey, I'm just a normal guy. Of course, I'm not just a floating voice that records videos. I do have a body and a face. But yeah, it's when people were like, oh my god, I've got to see what you look like, or that's when it creeps me out, because it's like, well, okay, you don't know. But hey, I think it went well, and it's not just like them seeing me. I also got to see some people that I didn't know what they look like. And that's a very odd experience. Like going up to people and being, "Hey, are you the biggest killer?" Yeah. And hey, it's Muckluck. And it's like, oh wow, and then there's that moment of, so that's what you look like. Ah. And it could go two ways. They could go, oh my god, you're so ugly, and they run away. Like they go grab a baby for its safety, and they just run away. Or they go, hey, that's nice to meet you, and then you go on your way. Luckily, the latter happened, and yeah, we went back to the apartment. So let's get on to the apartment, because I haven't even got to the events yet, and this is definitely not going to all go into one video. I may have to go into more detail later on. Did I mention that we're also going to do a podcast? Hopefully, maybe. Most of the people that stayed with me, we're going to try and get together on Skype and do a podcast. I know I said that we were going to try and do one there, because obviously it's much easier if you're all there in the same room. But we ran out of time. We kind of forgot, so we didn't bother. So I'm sure a lot of what I'm going to say is going to be covered in that podcast with a lot more detail. I will, if we do make it, I will definitely post a video kind of linking towards it. So keep an eye out for that. But let's just ramble for the time being. The apartment, the apartment was okay. Like I said, we used an Airbnb because they're kind of cheap. They're much cheaper than a hotel, much cheaper than a hotel, and can be cheaper than a hostel as well, or at least much nicer to live in. than a hostel. Ours was pretty good. I mean, the decor was pretty nice, and it was just about big enough. Had Wi-Fi and had a Wii, which was nice. We didn't play it, but it had a Wii and loads of Lego games, and yeah, it was nice. Apart from one damn thing which kind of sullied the whole experience of the trip. Well, no, sorry, not the trip, but the apartment, and that was the ants. It had ants in there. Now, when I rang the people up, or at least someone who was in charge of the apartment, she was blaming it on seasonality. Like, oh, it's a season where ants come out, and yeah, it sucks, but whatever. I don't know about that. I don't think a house should have ants, and it did. It had ants going from the back door that kind of crawled along the wall. We called it the ant superhighway, and they crawled along the wall from the back door to the front door. Okay, you guys are way too loud now. And the problem with that is, I mean, ants are kind of fine if they just stay out your way, which they did. They didn't really travel into the living room. They just stayed right along the wall. But then they also made their way into the kitchen, and that's where it gets a bit bad, because you do not want ants in your food. So we had to be really careful with leaving food out and making sure things were contained and sealed. It kind of sucked, that part of it. It really did, because otherwise it would have been such a nice, cheap place. It would have been just so lovely, and I wouldn't have had a bad word to say about it, really. But there were ants. Ooh, diamonds. There were ants there, and I'm not gonna moan about it too much, because I didn't moan about it too much on the trip. I tried not to anyway, because of two reasons. Number one, didn't really have that much time to moan about it. We were off at Minecon and the Mindcrack party for most of the days, so we weren't actually in the house able to moan, or able to moan to the managers, the homeowners, whatever. But also, and probably more importantly, I didn't want to focus and moan on it too much, because I'm there to have a good time and to enjoy myself with the fellow server members and Minecrack mods. Not focus on the negative. So, I need my other pick for this. Yeah, I just didn't want to sully the whole trip by moaning about it too much. It did kind of suck though. But that's pretty much all the negatives out of the way, because the rest of the trip was fantastic. Let's get on to what I actually did with the guys. So, Thursday we all got there all at different times during the day, because some people got here by the train, some people got here by plane. And so we kind of all got together towards Thursday night, and kind of had introductions, had some dinner. It was that sort of getting together stage, kind of breaking the ice. Friday rolled around, and that's when we had the Mindcrack party. So if you're not aware of what that was, Mindcrack did their own party. They rented out the Namco Fun Centre near Waterloo, which is a big arcade. They rented out the whole thing for one evening, and you got to go there, play some games for free, meet the Mindcrackers. I've spoken loads about the Mindcrackers, you should know who they are. Jeff is one of them. I actually met Jeff. Oh, let's talk about that. So, Pajam, the subreddit mod, he works at a place where he's able to print t-shirts. And so he very kindly, like oh so kindly, he didn't have to do this at all, went out of his way to make JFS t-shirts. Now, I'll try and post a picture of one. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen now. But there you go. If you're seeing that, that's the t-shirt. It's like I picked a nice red colour with the JFS logo. And that was to wear at the party to show Jeff, like, hey, we're the guys from your fan server. And you know what? He did. He recognised it. He was like, oh, that's cool. Gave us all a high five. And I mean, that was just great to actually talk to him. Now, we didn't, when I say talk, it didn't sit down and have a deep chat about life, the universe, and everything with him. It was like a 5-minute, like, hello, nice to meet you, because there were about 800 people at that party. The Minecrackers were surrounded. They were swarmed by people, which is fair enough, because people want to see them. That's what they came there to do. But by seeing them, that means you really only have a minute or two with them. So yeah, what I did at the party mainly, well, not mainly, but what I wanted to do mainly was play table tennis, because they had table tennis tables there. That was the first thing I went to. I spotted the table tennis tables. I went there and I played some with Pajam, and I won. Just saying, I won. And then Jeff came over. I was like, oh my gosh, Jeff, hey. Jeff wanted to play the winner because I think he said he played in the fireplace. He's a firefighter and a nurse, and I think he played it in the halls somewhere. I might get that gold. So he was well up for playing a game of table tennis or ping pong. I think that's what Americans call it anyway. Of course it is, because they have beer pong. And he said originally play winner, so he would have played me. But I felt like I was hogging the table too much, so I let the biggest killer play him. So the biggest killer and Jeff played a game of table tennis, which was fun to watch. I mean, it's kind of cool to be around them. Not to sort of fanboy over them too much, but these people that you've seen in videos and heard their voice for a long time, and you see them before your very eyes, it's kind of a bit... It takes you back a bit. Oh, hang on, I'm actually standing 5 feet away from them, not hearing them over a video. So once you get past that, it's kind of like, yeah, they're right there. And as well as Jeff, not all the Mindcrackers, but a lot of Mindcrackers were there. And although I didn't really get a chance to talk to many, because I didn't really feel like queuing up, because there were obviously queues to see them and get them to sign things. I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to spend the whole night queuing. So I was like, if I bump into one, which I did, if I bump into one, I'll say hello. And no, I didn't even say I watch your videos and stuff. I didn't have time to say that. It was just a hello. Would you mind signing the this Minecrack postcard that they gave out, which I did. I might even take some pictures of the postcard and stuff. In fact, I will. The postcard I put on screen now as well. So I kind of, just by doing that, not so much queuing up, but just bumping into them when I came across them, because they were walking all over this place. I think I got the signatures of, let's see, so Jeff, obviously, I think Baj, Dadby, awesome, Dadby, Sevidus, Seth, I think I even said hello to, definitely not everyone though. Did I do Arcus? Was Arcus on there? I don't think Arcus was there. Pyro, I managed to nab, and I was particularly interested in Pyro because I think Pyro is one of the Minecrackers I've been watching the longest, and I think he was just super crazy the whole night. He was like energy level 110% because I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he was like super buzzed, and so I managed just to quickly grab him as he was walking somewhere with his beer. And got his signature and had to hold his beer for him. Hold my beer. So yeah, whilst I would have loved to have said, hey man, I've been watching your video since the Call of Duty stuff, and when you were going through uni, I was going through uni, so it's sort of, I could relate to a lot of stuff you were talking about. I'd love to have said that, but I didn't get the chance. And also, I was a little bit shy. Let's not beat around the bush. I was a little bit shy to say that sort of stuff, because I've never said that stuff before. To the person that to the actual person. I don't think I've ever really met a celebrity, in inverted commas, internet or otherwise. So the Minecrack party was pretty good in that regard. If you didn't focus too much on seeing the Minecrackers, which I did, I think it was really good because it was like a sort of happy surprise to see one. But apart from that, it was nice just to kind of walk around, see the tons of people there and enjoying themselves, and even play a few games. So I played the ping pong. I didn't get a chance. There were bumper cars there. I'm not a big bumper car fan, I must admit. I think I must have had a bad experience on one when I was younger, or something. I don't really like them that much. I didn't ever go on the bowling though. I did want to try bowling. No one wanted to play with me. What else did I do? There was a bar. Had a few drinks. There was more stuff though. I mean, it's like this was almost a week ago now, and the 6 hours, because it was from 6 to 12, just so fast they went by. Would not believe it. One thing we did do is have a group photo of all the members of the JFS that were there. So with Jeff. So somewhere, I don't know where it is, Pajam took the photo because he's got a nice fancy camera and he's the photographer. Somewhere there's a nice photo of most of the members of the JFS who went to Minecon, or at least the Mindcrack party. So there was me, Killer, Adrian, Naxa, I'm going to forget people now. There was Special Brew, Jad Murdoch, and am I forgetting anyone? Oh, if I am, I'm very sorry. I don't think I am, though. I really don't think I am. No, I'm not. And Jeff, the man himself. I don't know where that photo is, though, but I'd really like to see it. All wearing our JFS shirts, of course. Oh, back at the beginning. Okay, then. I don't know. I don't think I should even get started on Minecon, to be honest. I think I should probably do it in a separate video. Maybe this can just be the Minecrack party video. How about that? That seems really good. And I'll also talk about what we did at the house between all these... Oh. Huh. Between all these events, because we did do stuff at the house as well. Like a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh. I'm so glad I brought my PS2, because we played a lot of Battlefront 2. Especially with Killer. I love that game so much. That's such a good game. But let's not talk about that just yet. Is there anything else I want to talk about in the Minecraft party? Oh! Let me just talk about one thing before I end this episode then, because I think I've been recording for a while. But the end of the party was so funny. It was so funny because the thing finished at 12 AM. And we were there till the very end. To the bitter end, we were there. And I had a drink. I needed to finish my drink. There were these security guards that were like, come on, you got to go now. The bar's closed. Come on, move. And every 5 minutes or so, he'd come round and sort of kind of gently push me in the direction of the door. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm going. And I'd make a sort of motion to go start moving. And then as soon as he left, I'd stop and just turn around and go back to talking to someone. Oh, you guys are everywhere. So yeah, that's what happened towards the end when they were ushering people out. And so we were kind of being really... We weren't being stubborn, but we were just taking our time because we didn't want to rush out. We wanted to make sure that everyone's there because we were as a group, so we don't want to lose anyone. We want to make sure we're in the same space. We want to get home together because you can easily get lost in London. You can easily get lost anywhere. But this arcade place was a bit of a maze as well. So yeah, at the end of the party, they're doing that. I've still got my drink. Pajam, who was... I won't be too rude because he's not here to defend himself, but he had quite a lot to drink. He was given a few free drinks, so he was a little bit on the tipsy scale of things. So there was him, there was me, there was Adrian and Killer still, and then all of a sudden, kind of something happened where the place was empty. Like I turned around and the place was pretty much empty, apart from myself, Pajam, and a few other people. And then all of a sudden, the security guy came back around and was ushering me, and this time he was actually kind of like pushing us, moving us. I was like, crap, alright, we better go then. And so he pushes us to this little section with a little up these stairs to a little walkway bit just outside of a door, and I'm like, this isn't the exit, this isn't where I came in, where the hell is he taking me? And Pajam, this doesn't look right. And then I kind of stop and I look around myself, I look around me and I see, holy crap, there's Dadby right next to me, and holy crap, there's like Arcus or someone right next to me, right there. And then I realise, oh god, this is like the VIP bit. This is for the Minecrackers themselves and all their special guests, because once the party had finished, they go into their own little room and finish off the party, I guess. I'm like, holy crap, I shouldn't be here. There's no way I should be here. I'm not a VIP. Now, Pajam, on the other hand, because he is a Mindcrack subreddit mod, he is a bit more of a VIP, because he speaks to Good and to the Mindcrack groups about UHCs or something, because as mods they have to know about certain things, and yeah, so they have a much more of a connection to the actual Mindcrackers. So since I was with Pajam, they kind of, I don't know, maybe they just pushed me along with him, and so we're all going into this room. I look in and I'm seeing like, oh god, there's Slowpoke who did all the FTB. There's Dabby and Milby and Pyro and Arcus and everyone. I'm like looking into this room and like, wait a minute, I'm not sure. They were. I'm not. I'm not supposed to be here. And that's what I kept saying. I was like, Pajam, I'm not supposed to be here. I need to go. Like, you can stay here, fine, but I need to go. Actually, that's a lie, because I said to him, listen, you need to come with us, because we're going home now, and you're drunk, so we don't really want to leave you alone. We want to take him with us in case he does something silly. So I kept saying to him, Pajam, come on, let's go. And he's like, no. I want to go see the Mindcrackers, which is totally fair enough. Like, if I were him, I'd have wanted to stay there with the Mindcrackers in this VIP room. But I was saying, no, come on, let's go. And then suddenly, we kind of go into the doorway of the room, and then Good Boulderfist pops out. And Good had been staying and standing the whole time at the party. He'd had a massive queue the whole time. He had not moved in 6 hours. So he was like exhausted, his voice was dead. And he just kind of poked his head out, was like, oh, hey, Pajam, and kind of glanced at me, thinking, who the hell is this guy? And Pajam's like, hey, blah, 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 like, I'm coming in this room with you. And Good's probably like, yeah, that's fine, because he knows who he is. But I'm at the same time, I'm still saying, Pajam, come on, let's go. Good's saying, listen, go with your friend, Guy. Because he says Guy, doesn't he? Go with your friend, Guy. Go home. And Pajam's, no, I'm going to stay with you. So eventually, I just kind of like walk away like, okay, he's your problem now. No, it wasn't that bad. But, I was just left Pajam to have fun with the Minecrack, and I'm going to go find the rest of them. Just as I turn around and walk out, Chad, Chad passes me, and I said to Chad, I'm not supposed to be here. I took a wrong turn, and just kind of walk away, and eventually find the exit where I came into, and find the other guys, and we head home through the pouring rain and thunderstorm, because it happened to bloody thunderstorm as soon as we exited the building. It was soaking. But that was pretty funny. I don't know. I was just like, one of those things where it's like, I'm not meant to be here. I'm way out of my league here. Any other person, I'm sure, would have taken advantage of that situation and been like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here, and they would have went in that room with them. But could you imagine the awkwardness of, like, you go in there and all these people are like, who the hell are you? Just so you could get 5 minutes of fame with them. But no, I was a bit more kind of smart than that. I was like, no, I should really go. I shouldn't be here. But hey, Pajam went there. He probably had a good time with them. Took a few photos and whatever. But that was an exhilarating end to the night for me, anyway. To get my little moment with Good. We did meet Good another time at Minecon, but I'll talk about that later. But no, that ending was pretty funny. And I'm sure if we do a podcast and Pajam is in it, I hope he is, he will have a completely different version of that story. It wouldn't surprise me. But no. Okay, so I've been talking way too long. I'm going to end this episode because I'm now just walking around in circles. I think I'm kind of lost. But I will talk more about Minecon, because we've only just brushed the surface of the trip. That was only one day. That was only the Friday. I stayed until Tuesday. So there will be more videos. Again, though, check out or keep an eye out for a podcast if we do make it. I will tweet and maybe even make a video about it. But yeah, a lot more to talk about. Very, very, very fun trip. Okay, so I'm going to stop rambling. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.